Retire Plugged In newsletter number 2. Could force number 1 in your retirement window annihilate your plan? Planning well doesn't mean being ready, by Nora Hartquist. The real truth about retirement. As we move into spring 2026, a new season, we look forward to finishing up something. Maybe it's a project around the house, paying off all our bills before the end of 2026, or getting more time with our family during the wonderful spring weather. Then there are those New Year's resolutions, looking back. Did you make any? Have you given up on them? Or maybe you gave up on even making them after years of abandoning those resolutions by February. For most of us, long-term goals are the most important, and the subject of this newsletter is one of the most important for our readers: retirement. For some, this is the goal for the coming year. For many reading this newsletter, it's somewhere in our future. But for those already there, this newsletter may be one of the most important you'll read. Why? In issue number 1, we talked about the 3 forces that can shape your retirement window. Go back to that issue to learn more. Today, we'll go deeper into force number 1, the economic cycle in your retirement window. This may be the most crucial understanding for those retiring this coming year and could drastically affect the plans of those already retired. Now, just to be clear, we're not addressing the current economics caused by the Iranian situation. We're talking about the almost irrefutable cycles that happen no matter the geopolitical surprises that occur. There are 5 disruptors of the U.S. economic cycle happening now. RBC Wealth Management has a graphic that shows what's happening. The 2 Americas, America needs workers, big government forces forever, a housing market held hostage, and tariff head fakes. These economic disruptors don't mention the one you've probably guessed: AI. You're right. AI underlies at least 2 of these disruptors. The 2 Americas really affects the schism happening between the haves and the have-nots. In the last several years, low and middle-income Americans' economic circumstances have sharply diverged from those of their high-income counterparts. Are you feeling the pinch? Will AI affect your retirement window? We've never seen anything grow so fast and affect so many people's livelihoods, sometimes leading to an earlier retirement than we planned. Some fields are at greater risk. Bank tellers, bookkeepers, loan officers, paralegals, replaced. Coders, graphic artists, writers, proofreaders, translators, replaced. Call service representatives, telemarketers, ticket agents, replaced. Assembly line workers, warehouse pickers, think Amazon, replaced. And the list grows as AI becomes increasingly capable. This can lead to unexpected job loss, and with no other skills, an early retirement you're not ready for. On the other hand, we see other fields more resistant: personal services, nurses, doctors, teachers, hairdressers, coaches, and the skilled trades: plumbers, electricians, construction workers, carpenters, HVAC. America's labor market is shifting in favor of those who can do personal services and skilled trades, replacing the long-held belief that college is the path to success. One of my grandsons elected to delay or maybe even skip college in favor of a decent paying job that requires hands-on. He's currently working in hazmat, making good money while saving for a down payment on his first home. The gear is heavy, sometimes long hours for a cleanup, and unfortunately, he's also learning about the dangers in life. He recently had to work with the crew to clean up a train wreck that involved body parts. It was hard. He doesn't look at this as his permanent career, but it's giving him a good start. We lack workers in America because liberal arts and general studies college graduates make up 64% of bachelor's degrees. That was the success path you were sold. These graduates lack the skills needed for much of today's job market and have been told they're above doing the available jobs, leading to their unemployment. There's a tradecraft renaissance. Success doesn't mean starting at the top. Trades equal real skills plus pricing power, but you don't have to remain a worker. You can advance to an operator and an owner. We see hands versus heads in this economy. An example, we have a client who recently accepted a retirement offer from the federal government, believing he had a firm offer from a contractor for a $100,000 a year job starting the next month. That job disappeared before it started. He's driving a school bus to supplement his retirement. After a long, fulfilling, but not yet finished career, the rug has been pulled from under his feet. The housing market and your retirement window. At first glance, you may think the housing market won't affect your retirement much. If your home is mortgage-free, you don't plan on moving. However, it may come into play even if those things are true. Scenario number one, the housing market has reached a point where it's out of reach for those starting out to get the substantial down payment required for the high prices they're facing. That means your grown children may be looking to you for help. We have a client, let's call him Stephen, who is ready to retire with a great plan. Stephen's grown child has a family, 3 beloved grandchildren, a reasonably decent job, but he couldn't purchase his first home because he couldn't come up with a down payment. What did Stephen do? He took $100,000 out of his TSP, the government 401k, to help out. Not only does this reduce his nest egg, but it also reduces its growth, causing him to delay his retirement and pay taxes this year on an additional $100,000 of income. Scenario number two, you've lived in the DC area or some other metro area because the work and high pay were there. After 25 years, you yearn to return to your hometown. The culture is more comfortable, less traffic, less cost of living. The overriding reason is that you have no doubt that your parents are aging and will need your help sooner rather than later. Can you relate? Your conundrum. Your house needs to be updated before you can sell for a reasonable price. Construction materials and carpentry costs are through the roof. You own your home outright, but need to sell it before buying another. How do you even come up with the funds to update your current home and put a down payment on a place back home without robbing your retirement savings? Scenario number three, maybe you're downsizing. You love your home, but it's too much to keep up, and you don't need a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath home anymore. Sounds simple until you start looking for a 1-level smaller home and updating your house for sale. Who knew that smaller 1-level homes would be as rare as hen's teeth and sell at a premium because so many other people are retiring? Maybe a retirement community. Is it really easy and cost-effective to downsize when we go from a paid-for home to a retirement community? Moving costs alone can be over $10,000. Now, HOA fees in the retirement community are rising. You still have taxes and insurance to pay, and there are strict rules on house colors and landscaping choices. Perhaps the activities provided that you're paying a premium for are just not your cup of tea, as the services provided may not be to your personal standards, or the snow removal doesn't happen for 3 days, so you're stuck. The housing market may affect your decisions. You hire help to clean the house, cut the grass, shut off the upstairs, install a lift, or remodel so you can live on the ground floor. It may actually be less expensive than moving. Then we have the Morgans, name substituted to protect identity. The Morgans moved to be close to their only child and grandchildren at high cost. only to have their son get a job offer he couldn't refuse in another state, while they stay stranded in a new community with no friends or connections. The Morgans couldn't afford to return to their former area because the cost would be prohibitive. We'll educate members on how to avoid these housing scenarios on the Retire Plugged In membership site. It's not available yet, but keep your eyes open. Do any of these scenarios hit home? Then we have, as RBC Wealth said, the two Americas and your retirement window. The University of Michigan's Economic Conditions Index report hasn't been near this low since 2000 to 2003. The have-nots, what's happening for most people, is not working. The upper incomes of the two Americas, the haves, are benefiting from the stock market, doing well, but it doesn't help lower income earners. The have-nots' only questions are, how much do I make each week? How much do I keep each week? And most are struggling. They need help and information on how to increase income, avoid taxes, and keep more after they pay their bills. For them, buying a home is pretty much out of reach, and owning a home is one way for them to build more wealth. Their retirement window is not looking favorable right now. And how about the haves, the other part of the two Americas? The booming stock market last year increased their wealth. Looking toward retirement, though, you have to plan for that stock market wealth to last for 30 years. If you wonder why, see issue number 1. Are you prepared for historical stock market volatility? There will be a severe market correction. When? Your guess is as good as mine. However, statistically, the stock market experiences a significant downturn, a bear market of 20% or more once every 3 to 5 years. And that downturn generally lasts around a year on average. Will it wipe out your retirement nest egg? It depends on whether you fall into the trap of making the wrong decisions at the wrong time. A bear market is characterized as a U-shaped correction lasting between 6 to 18 months in 54% of instances. This was a longer one in 2000 to 2003. Took the market 3 years to bottom out. It took investors 5 to 6 years to get back to even if they didn't take money out to live on. For those in retirement, living on their retirement account, every dollar they take out not only will not grow back, but may also wipe out their retirement. Why? If your stocks were worth $100 a share and are now worth $50 a share, that $2,000 a month supplement wipes out not 20 shares now, but 40 shares each month, meaning your account is going down twice as fast. How do you avoid this disaster? Stay tuned to future issues to learn how. We'll also go into the types of corrections, the V shape, the U shape, the W shape, and how often each happens in a future issue. Of course, the most crucial consideration we'll address is how you plan to avoid a massive hit on your nest egg. Will the big government affect your retirement window? Of course, we all have our political opinions, but this isn't about politics. It's about what's happening now that will affect you and what can happen to affect you in the future. The color of money isn't red or blue, it's green. The OBBA, One Big Beautiful Bill Act, was passed in 2025. Believe it or not, this will benefit retirees in the short term. Why? Because it made tax cuts set to expire this year permanent, keeping tax brackets much lower. But what is permanent in political world? Good question. Until it's changed. There's a new above-the-line $6,000 tax deduction for taxpayers 65 and older. However, it phases out for individuals with adjusted gross income above $75,000 and married couples with AGI above $150,000. Mark one for the have-nots. Temporary? Absolutely. It's already set to disappear after 2028. The estate and gift tax exemption is set at $15 million, $30 million for a married couple. Starting in 2026, will be indexed for inflation. Mark one for the haves. There's so much more to know about this and its effect for retirees, which I address in more detail in my Taxes and Retirement workshop. Just hit reply and comment TIR workshop if you want a link to watch it. The confluence of events in your retirement window. This newsletter has given you a broad overview of force number one, economic cycles and your retirement window. As we progress into summer 2026, we all see changes in our lives created by force number two, social dynamics. Our children and grandchildren are not local to us in today's world. Our former co-workers who made up our social circle no longer live around the corner. Social connections may be less than we like, and Christmas last year may have been less exciting than it used to be. What are the new social dynamics, and how will they affect your retirement years? Stay tuned for newsletter number 3. And let me know how the economic cycle is affecting you. I read every email. It helps me to write about what you want to talk about.